Hey guys, it's Common Sense Survivalist here today, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make the Sanctified Paracord bracelet. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it's actually a pretty cool design. To me, it looks like it's a little bit of checkers, but that's just the way I see it. It's actually a really good bracelet. I got some compliments on it today at school. I got some compliments on it by family members yesterday, because yesterday was Easter Sunday. So I like this bracelet a lot. I mean, it's a very thick bracelet. It's probably about half an inch thick, and you definitely want to make it pretty big because it takes up some space on your wrist, definitely. So it's an intermediate bracelet, I'd say, because I had to restart over 4 times to actually get the final product, and I had a couple problems. My melted paracord, one piece of paracord came apart, so I had to take the whole thing apart and redo that. So yeah, I'd say it's probably an intermediate bracelet, not for beginners, but not for, it's probably too easy for the really skilled level of people. So I'm gonna tilt you down and we'll get started. Okay, so as you guys can see, I chose to do the colors white and blue and then white and red. Basically it's gonna kind of look like this. So I'll show you how it starts. I'm gonna do my white and blue first, but you can do whatever colors you want. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to run your cord through your fingers just like this, make sure there's no twists or anything in it, get it all fixed up again. And you want to find the center point, and for this one, this is going to be pretty much right here where it's melted, where my white and blue both meet. But since I want this melted piece to be on the inside of the bracelet, I'm going to go down about 4 inches on this paracord here. And okay, so one thing I'm going to point out is with this, if you want your white to be on the outside, you're gonna take, okay, so this is kind of hard to explain, but anyway, if you want, let's say you want white on the outside of the bracelet, like right here where this black is, where both parts of the black are. If you want white there, what you'll do is you'll take your white paracord and put it to the right side, and then you'll take your blue and leave about 4 inches there. Then you'll go through the top of the buckle, out the bottom. And I'm going to do this on the female end of the buckle because that's just the way I like to do it. I mean, I'm particular about the ways I do things. Alright, so now that you've got your paracord pulled through a little bit, you'll have this loop here. What you'll want to do is take that loop, fold it upwards and over top of that buckle, okay? So let me do that again, just make sure you saw that. You'll want to take it and fold it over top of that buckle and back onto itself just like this, okay? Now, I want my melted piece to be a little bit farther up, so I'm just going to pull on this opposite side and tighten that down. That's about where I want it. Alright, so now you'll see that I've got my blue on the left and my white on the right. Now, you're going to take your other colors, your white and your red, or whatever colors you guys chose. Run them through your fingers just to make sure that you don't have any twists or knots or anything in it. And then you'll want to find the center point. And my white's a little bit longer than the red, but I like the color red better than white. So I'm going to go about, just like I did before, about 4 inches down. And this time, you want to make sure that your white, or your other color, is on the left. That way, both of your white strands are on the center, are in the center of the bracelet, basically. So this one's going to be a little bit trickier to do than that first one was, just because of the fact that you're trying to squeeze more paracord on a bracelet that obviously, with a buckle that isn't supposed to be able to hold this much. So Might take me a little bit to get this, so I think I'm just gonna cut it out and come back when I've actually gotten it through, because I know it can take a little while. Okay, so now you'll see that I have my paracord pulled through the buckle. So what you want to do now is do just like you did before. Open up the loop, fold it over top of the female buckle, and now you'll notice that we have a little bit of a problem here. This wants to go basically over top of all 4 strands. What you're going to do to fix this is just take your blue and your white colors and just pull both of them through that loop. So now that you got them pulled through your loop, you can just cinch that back up tight, and you've got your cow's hitch with the red and the white. And I know this might not be so easy for people with 1/2-inch buckles, because that's what I'm using right now. I actually used a knife, one of my pocket knives, to push through this red and to get it through the buckle, so it might not be very easy all the time. So now it's time to put the opposite ends through the other buckle, through the other piece of the buckle. Alright, so this can also kind of be tricky just because of the fact that your white, your 2 colors that are the same can get crossed and everything. So you want to make sure that you've got them apart from each other. So what I'll do here is I'll just take my red and the white and put them off to that side. I'll take my blue and white, throw them up over there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my blue and white. I'm going to find the end of the blue first. And now I'm going to take, let's see, how do I want to do this? I need to go, okay. So you'll take the end of your blue and thread it through the top of the buckle, the male end of the buckle, the one with the forks, just like this. Thread it through the top and go out the bottom. Pull that down. Now you'll do the same with your blue, the white that's with your blue. Now take your white, thread it through the top, and pull it through the bottom. And just like with that cow's hitch before now, this might not be a very easy thing to do right now, because you're going to have to cram 4 strands into the other end of the buckle. So I'm probably going to show you how to do this last white one, and I'm going to do the red one by myself, because it might take me a little bit to do it, and I don't want to really waste your guys' time. So like I said, I almost threaded it through the bottom, or thread it through the top, and then pull it through the bottom. And now that you've got your first 3 strands going here, let me pull these out of the way. Pull this white one around, throw it over there, pull that white one. Okay, so now you can see that I've got my, okay. Sorry guys. Alright, there we go. Now you can see that we got our blue, our white with the blue, and then our white with the red. And now, oops, sorry about that. I'm going to do this one by myself, just because it might take a little bit to actually thread it through the male end of the buckle, because, like I said, you're cramming a lot of stuff into this buckle, so. Okay, so now you can see that I've got all of my colors pulled through the male end of the buckle. Now here comes the weave. One thing that I'm going to recommend that you may need right now is a jig, because this weave can get kind of complicated when you're doing it, and you can get mixed up really easily. So I'm just gonna clip that into my jig like that. Let me spin this around really quick. Pull my blue through this side. White, and red. And see, this is also a good way to separate your colors. That way you're not getting them all tangled up and everything like that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make a cinch knot. Basically what that is that's just a knot that keeps all your stuff where it's at, so it doesn't loosen up and make your bracelet bigger, or tighten up too much and make it shorter. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to take your middle cord, one of your middle cords, which is going to be your white or whatever color you have there. You're going to take it and make a loop on your right side. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can pull this whole rest of it through. But what I'm going to do is just take it and thread it through that loop, and now just pull on it. Alright, and as you can see, that makes a loop here. You just want to kind of cinch that down, bring that up to the top where your bracelet is, and then you'll want to cinch that down nice and tight. And then you'll do the same with the other side. You'll take your left side center strand, make a loop, pull the rest of it through the middle, and then go back through that loop you made. And then you'll pull your excess through and make your cinch knot again. Alright. Alright, so now that we've got those cinched down tight again, what you want to do next is take the exact same cords. I'm going to take my left white. You want to open up the bracelet to the middle, pull it all the way through, and cross over to the other side here. Then you'll do that the same with the other white cord, or whatever color you're using. Take the middle strand in the right, take it through the bottom of the middle, pull it out the top, and go to the opposite side. So now you'll see that you kind of, if my paracord will stay, here, let me do this. There we go. You got these two loops right here. Okay, what you're going to do now, you're going to take your left color, you're going to take it through the bottom of the middle, pull it through, then you're going to take your end, thread it through this loop on the same side. So now you're going to have something like this. Now you're going to take the color on the other side, which is going to be your right color, and thread it through the bottom of the middle. Okay. Then you'll take that color and thread it through the loop on the same side made with your white. Alright, so now that you have something that should look like this, if you didn't get it the first time, you can always rewind it and pause it just to make sure you can get it. Now you're going to take your whites, or whatever color you're using, and now you can tighten it up. And the first knot you do might look a little funny, funky even, but once you get it tightened up and once you get the rest of the bracelet going, it'll look a lot better. Trust me. On my first bracelet I did here, which is this one, this black, yellow, and red, I had to restart over 4 times, so it's definitely a kind of tricky bracelet to do. So now I'm going to show you the second weave. You've got your 2 middle colors, which are my whites. Oh, and by the way, when you're tightening down that knot, it's really going to shorten up your bracelet, so you're going to want to make sure your bracelet's back to the length you want it to be. So anyway, now that you've got your colors here, you'll just take your middle colors, your white, take it under the bracelet and through the bottom, come out the middle, just like we did before. Take your tail end off to this side over here, so if you start with this side, you bring it over to this side. Now you'll do the same with the other side. Take your middle color, your middle right color, go through the bottom of the bracelet, pull it all the way through to the other side. Now, make sure that you keep your, wait, there we go. Make sure that you keep your loops there, by the way, just to make sure that you still have those. Now you'll take your left color, which is my red, thread it through the middle, well, I forgot to mention this, but you thread it through in front of your cross here. You'll thread it through Make sure there's no twist or anything. And then you'll open up your loop made with your middle color, and you'll pull that red through. Same thing with the blue. You'll take it up through the bottom and through the middle, in front of where it crosses, pull it through, and then you'll take your tail end again, back through that white loop. Now you should have something that looks a little bit like this. I know this is kind of a confusing way to do it. It's an interesting weave, that's for sure. Now, like I said, just take all your tails and your ends and stuff and tighten them up. Sometimes you can even pull on them one by one to tighten them up themselves, which tightens them up pretty good, actually. I'm going to do one more with you guys, and then I think I'll finish it up and show you how to finish it off. So like I said, take your middle color on the right, or I mean the left, sorry. Take your middle color on the left, thread it through the bottom and out through the middle, cross over to the other side. You'll do the same with the right, go through the bottom, come up, and out through the middle, top. And you should have this crisscross thing. Then you'll take your color on your left, thread it through the bottom in front of your crisscross. Almost just said Chris. And then sometimes you'll get a loop with your color. You'll just want to tuck that back under and grab your color here, thread it through. Then you'll have a loop. Take your blue or your other color, thread it in front of everything else through the bottom and out the top. Open up this loop here, this white loop, and pull it through. Excuse me. And then you just grab all your cords, alternate back and forth, and tighten it up. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish it up and show you guys what it looks like when you're finished and how to finish it off. Alright, so here's probably where I'm going to need like a pocket knife or something. I got scissors right here, but I don't know if those are thin enough to work. I actually did this, by hand yesterday. Uh-oh, I got a twist in my paracord here. There we go. So don't freak out if you can't get it the first time. Just keep trying and you'll eventually get it. It does get pretty packed full of paracord here at the end. And this is one reason I'd like to definitely have some fids, but I just don't have. I have the ability to, but I don't really necessarily need them right now. So I think I'm just gonna wait a little longer until I'm actually gonna need them. Because, my channel's not just all about paracord, it's all about everything that you need to do, not just paracord. So I think I'll save some of my money for a little something else. And see, it wasn't too hard for me to do that right there, even though I just did. And the video I watched, it was pretty packed full. I don't know if I'm gonna do one more. I suppose I could, but why not? We'll try it. If it doesn't work out, then oh well. Okay, one more. Oh geez, I don't know. Yeah, let's go for one more. Okay. Yeah, this is probably where I'm gonna need my scissors or something here in just a minute. Okay, we're back through. Okay. Now it's time for the last one, the blue. Okay, so now this is just going to be like a regular bracelet. You're just going to cut and melt paracord. Cut it as close as you can, melt it with a lighter, smudge it, smooth it off, and everything. I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. Once I get everything tightened up. So, I'll also do a video on how to use your scraps for other paracord projects. Alright, so I have a torch lighter, but for some reason it won't stay lit, even though it's completely full of fluid, and it makes a spark. It lights, but it won't stay lit. So I just sadly have to use a regular mini Bic lighter for melting this. And one thing you can also do is when you smudge this paracord, I like to use either a piece of stainless steel, or even something a little bit different. Okay, so now you just want to cut and melt the other sides. What I do is I do it one at a time, because if you snip them all at the same time, there's a good chance that your paracord can come loose and you'll have to go back a space and you won't get the knot all the way tight enough how it needs to be. So I just do it one by one, that's all. And when I cinch this paracord and smush it to it, I usually lick my fingers before I do it, just so I don't burn myself, you know. Or sometimes you can even take some piece of metal, like a piece of stainless steel or something, but I like to just lick my fingers and melt it. Or, I mean, do that with it. That's how I do it most of the time. And then you pull on the other side. And you cut it and melt it. I don't know, I suppose I could use like a piece of metal or something, but I don't always think it turns out that great, actually, when I'm doing it. It actually turned out pretty good this time. Alright, and the last piece. I like to pull really tight on them when I'm done melting the rest. I pull really tight on the last one, just to make sure I got it nice and tight. You want to make sure you keep your plastic buckle away from this too. It'll definitely melt your plastic and warp it too. I suppose I'll start using a piece of metal from now on again, because it actually looks a lot nicer. It might not look pretty, but the bracelet itself looks pretty nice. So here's the final product. I think it looks pretty decent though. Nice colors. You can see it pretty well. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this tutorial on how to make this Sanctified Paracord Survival Bracelet. This is the final product. I think it looks actually pretty nice and good. This is the back. The back actually looks a little bit different than the front. I guess it's just the way the paracord goes, you know. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. It just helps me know whether I'm doing a good job or not. And if there is something I need to work on, like my instructions, I guess, my details with making these paracord bracelets, just drop a comment down below and tell me if I'm doing okay, or if there's anything that I need to work on. Like I said, it just helps me know what know what I can do better with. But I hope you liked this video. If you would like to see more of these, please subscribe with the button down below. Click it. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.